This video is all about the Niagara Falls. This was our day number 2 in the Niagara. We had come on the 5th of September 2023 and we had camped on the Niagara on the lake. That's a small township which is on the shores of Lake Ontario, and that is where there is some winery and a small town full of tourists, and it caters to tourists in so many ways because it is indeed nestled in the greenery and the beauty of the Niagara and everything in between. So there we were on 5th. We went to some of those wineries, and then we had ice wine, and then the next day, that is on the 6th of September 2023, we landed, or rather we came to the falls. The falls is always a pleasure to watch. uh, it is a thing of beauty because it is nature at its very best. As you see the waters roll by full of fury, and then as it falls into the horseshoe part of the falls, this is on the Canadian side. It is an awesome sight to see, and though you may see it again and again, every time you have a look at the falls, it is really something that you would never see it anywhere else in the world. So we came to the Niagara Falls. We went to all of those places of interest. And in and around the falls, there are so many things that we ended up doing and seeing. One of those was going down, so many floors down, because back when Niagara was just new, it was producing electricity for this entire part of Buffalo, New York, and other places nearby. So these turbines were many floors under the ground today. And so you go by a lift, and there we walked through the tunnel, which you will see later in this video. So this tunnel was basically meant for the water that came after the turbines, very much deep inside the ground. And the water that came out of the turbine, in order to flow out back into the river, these tunnels were made. These tunnels were so huge, uh, and these tunnels were opened for the public just a few years back. So as we walked and walked and walked, finally at the end of it, you would come out almost at the base of this Niagara, and there you would see once again the fastness and the waters that were flowing at such a speed that it was a delight to watch that. So that was one of those highlights, and then you see this tunnel now. So who were we who went to Niagara? It was Anmol Mohapatra, it was Aradhna George, and then it was me, George Marshall. So it was such a nice thing to come to meet our children here in Toronto. And of course, after the weekend, we came to this particular place, and you can now see all those pictures in and around the Niagara Falls that we visited. So as you see, you also see some plates of very good food that we ate. My daughter is interested to take pictures of nice food, and I was delighted to have those salads, which I told them that I would have because it was good for me. And two frames later, you will see that salad coming on the screen, and it looked so good. You can see it now. It's so nice to eat such a thing. So others ate whatever they had for their choice, but I ate this particular food. So, yes, so ultimately the whole visit to Niagara was just watching the Niagara Falls itself, and everything else was secondary. But what makes a really a good trip is one in which you not only enjoy nature but what you do around that particular place. So whenever we go out, I think it is more a meeting of our minds and the feeling of goodness that we have for one another. And that makes our visit so very welcoming and nice. So as you see this pictures or this video further, just a few frames later, as I was mentioning about the electricity that was being produced in Niagara. So we went into that particular place deep inside the soil ground. Say you can see those giant machineries, you can see those turbines, and you can see all of those machineries kept spick and span with beautiful color combinations. So far away, I could see something like a CN tower, but it was not the CN tower. It was a local, I think, point where you could go up and have a look at the tower itself. But look at this video further and enjoy the beautiful sights that we are going to show you. And if you do like it, and if I do put this on into the YouTube, please subscribe and give a like as everybody else says so. So, this is George Marshall signing off, hoping that you will enjoy this session of video as you look and see it. Now, why is this in the portrait mode and not on the landscape mode? Because most of these pictures were shot in the portrait mode. It's easier to do it, especially when there's so much of water and the possibility of the phone falling into the water. At least for me, it made sense to just shoot the scene in the portrait mode. I would have liked the whole thing to be. This is George Marshall ending this video and hoping that you liked this Niagara Falls that I have taken for you. Bye.